Hello and welcome to another episode of Maximum Paul. And today I'm excited to bring you Ghostek's Iron Armor case for the iPhone 12. Let's take a look at it. So you can currently find this Iron Armor case on Ghostek's website for $24.98. Although, as you can see right now, they're having a sale to where it's only 15 bucks. Go ahead and snag that up. You guys already know that I never ever get tired of complimenting Ghostek's packaging just because again, it screams my name. I always am in love with the holographic name tag because it gives me away as someone that likes collectible cards, and that magnetic clasp. Yeah, I'm very 90s, so I'm in love with magnets. Let's go ahead and get this open. So something that we get with all of our Ghostek cases is always a matte black Ghostek sticker to help build some of that brand loyalty. Now in this box, we got the case. But this case, if you're not familiar with Ghostek's Iron Armor cases, has quite a few tricks up its sleeve in case you can't already tell. So for starters, Ghostek has very, very graciously included a tempered glass screen protector so that your phone is protected right out of the gate. One-stop shop, no need to be shopping anywhere else, no need to be ordering another screen protector. And now our case itself is made out of thermoplastic polyurethane lining on the inside in order to be cushioned so that it absorbs some of those impacts. Now the outside of the case is made out of a black polycarbonate so that it can be abrasion resistant and for longevity. Now I do believe that the kickstands and the belt clip are made out of that same black polycarbonate as they appear to be a similar construction. In addition to that, the main thing about the Iron Armor cases is that they have a kickstand, well, two of them actually, kickstands, that they have a credit card / ID holder, and that they have a belt clip to be able to be clipped to your belt or anything else really that is of a similar construction. So let's go ahead and pop our iPhone in there. Okay, very nice. All right. So now, something that concerns me with a lot of these very rugged cases, in case you haven't seen my videos, is that typically most cases are going to do a very good job, believe it or not, of actually protecting your phone and keeping it snug in there. However, that tends to come at the cost of some mobility or some accessibility. So that means that sometimes your buttons are going to be a little bit hard to press or a little bit hard to access. Let's go ahead and do a little sound test and see. So as you guys were able to hear, our buttons are still quite clicky. They're still pretty accessible. They're not any harder to get to and or reach than they would be if we did not have the case. Again, very, very nice. Let's go ahead and see how deep our finger needs to go into that silent switch. Okay, very good. So it doesn't feel like I have to dig in there at all. It feels like it's just right at that fingertip length. And again, I have very, very short fingernails and I don't feel like I have to dig in there at all. Very good attention to detail on Ghostek's part. Now, on that same side, if we can keep going, we're going to see that we have the volume up and volume down buttons actually individually labeled with a plus and a minus sign. You don't really have to, as we all know, up is up, down is down. However, very nice attention to detail. If we keep going, we can also see that we have a slot for our credit card or ID, whatever we want to put in there. Let me go ahead and demo that for you guys with something that doesn't really have any information. So this is what a debit or a credit card will look like inserted in there. Very nice. Let's go ahead and keep going towards the top of the case. We'll come back to the credit card thing later. Very clean look. If we go over to the right side of the case, we're going to see our power button also nicely covered and also having a power icon. It didn't have to do that, but it's very nice. Just in case you have no idea what side of your phone you're looking at, just in case you're not familiar with iPhones, you know this is the power button because it has a power icon. Very cool. And we also have a loop for a lanyard in case you wanted to put that in there, just as if it were 2015 all over again. If we go over to the bottom of the phone, we can see we have cutouts for our speakers, both on the right and the left side, as well as one more cutout in the middle for our lightning port. Now, when we flip it over to the back, we see our beautiful kickstand that enables us to have our phone in both portrait and landscape mode. Usually we're limited to just landscape mode, but this one also allows for portrait mode. Very, very cool. Now, another thing that makes me be a huge fan of these Iron Armor cases is that aggressive bump around the camera. Do you see that? How well protected our camera is? That is a solid 1.5 millimeters. That is a solid 1.5 centimeters, my apologies, that we have worth of bump right there. That is very well protected. I'm not scared of chucking this against the wall. I feel that my phone, especially the cameras, are going to be very, very well protected. Now let's go ahead and go to another feature of the phone case, which is it having a belt clip. So now this belt clip is going to allow you to, as it implies, clip it onto your belt. But more importantly, another job of the belt clip is to work as a secondary kickstand and also to keep your credit, debit card, or ID card safe. Now, what I mean by that is if you have your case or if you have your phone outside of its kickstand and you go running or you go out about in the world, you run the potential of losing your credit card, having it slip out. Now, that can be remedied by using the case as Ghostek intended, because when you do that, it keeps your debit, credit card, or your ID card in place, and there's just no way that's gonna come flying out, right? So if we use things as manufacturer intended, usually it's a much better experience, right? Now let's go ahead and test out that actual kickstand. Usually these tend to be very sturdy. These tend to break after, again, 3, 4, 5 tries. But let's go ahead and do the carnage that we're obligated to do, and let's find out how many tries it's gonna take for this kickstand to break. Again, usually 6 is the magic number. Let's go ahead and right away with drop number 1. This broke immediately. It did not stand a chance. Let's go ahead and see now what our kickstand with our belt clip is gonna fare. Let's go ahead and drop this. Okay, let's drop number 1. There we go, maximum carnage. Drop number 2. That one closed up. Okay, so now we can see some bending. We can see some deformation of our little clip. Okay. That was 3. That was 4. Oh man, I think that this one might do it. And that's 5. Okay. So then after 5 drops, this has also failed. Actually, no. Has it failed? I don't think it's... Well, it's definitely bent out of shape, and it's definitely so bent that it is no longer usable. I mean, yeah, it's no longer usable. However, it's nice to know that it took several drops for the second kickstand to ultimately fail, and that it did not break on the first try, right? Usually whenever I see things fail, it's usually as you're handling it, as you're pulling it out of the case, and we saw that this thing took quite a beating in order for it to break. And I'm happy to see that. I'm elated. I'm definitely happy to see that this case is taking quite a beating and that our iPhone is still intact and that it has not broken after dropping it several times. Go ahead and leave it down in the comments. What are your thoughts on this case? What are your thoughts on rugged case in general? Do you think it's worth the slightly inhibited mobility in order to have a more protected phone? I didn't even actually check to see if this is MagSafe compatible because I know for a fact it isn't. I mean, maybe it is, maybe it'll show up, but it's not holding onto the magnet at all. Like, yeah, so you would not be able to use your MagSafe accessories for this at all. Yeah, doesn't even register. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on rugged cases so that you too can be entered into the giveaway for the Alcatel Joy Tab 2 tablet we're going to be giving a second tablet away the moment we reach 1,000 subscribers. And as always, thanks for watching.